everyone. Today we're going to talk about the marketing strategies that work today. Now, there are many things that we do in our businesses for marketing. And without doing this marketing, our businesses would cease to grow. Okay? Word of mouth only gets you so far, and it certainly isn't going to help you scale very much. So, that being said, I'm going to go over a few things that have worked for us over the years, and some things have changed. For example, right off the bat, we used to advertise in the Yellow Book. Terrible idea. So there's not, and maybe at some point it'll come back, but I highly doubt it. Everything seems to be going so digital, but there still are some things that work. So let's just get right into it. First off, YouTube ads, for example. We like using YouTube ads for different businesses because they got to be used in a certain way. Okay, so like, if people are searching for something, and I'll just give you an automatic example of one of my businesses, which is the mosquito police. So let's say that they go onto YouTube because they want to know how to get rid of mosquitoes, okay? So as they go on there, my ad pops up in front of them. If they're in one of the territories that I work in, then my ad pops up. During season, that's when we run these ads, and automatically they'll be like, okay, there's home remedies, there's this, there's that, there's the other, but all of a sudden my ad is there. They might click on that ad, and all of a sudden we can give them a price right over the phone. So that's kind of how YouTube ad works for us. And it's kind of cool because you can dial it in, you can get it into the areas where you want to be, so that works. But it's not as dialed in as, like, say, Facebook is, for example. That's a whole nother gig, but Facebook advertising, we do that as well. But with that, you can dial into specific neighborhoods. So I like that part of it, and especially for like branding your name out there, your company. You can target just the areas you're working in, the actual neighborhoods. So that's really cool. So if we're working around a specific lake, let's say for spraying mosquitoes, and I can not only couple with the door hangers and all the other things that we do, but I can target them on Facebook, so my ads are popping up in front of them. Now it doesn't mean they're going to click on my ad, but every time they see it, that's another brand recognition. And repetitively, oh my God, sorry about that, but I'll keep right on rolling. Anyway, as you market to these people, you will see that the repetitiveness of being in front of them time and time and time again is what makes them actually buy. So seeing them once, generally seeing your logo one time in front of them generally doesn't do it. It's usually multiple times. So, all right, there's that. Let's talk about the emails. Emails are important also. Emails tend to come in. I don't go out and I don't buy email lists and just blanketly market to people with emails. I use emails more of an upselling feature. So, for example, if I am trying, and I keep using this mosquito police as an example, but it can be used in, my God, any of your businesses. It can be used in, lawn care. It can be used in landscaping. So once you have your client, if you have those emails, you can always market to them. So for example, lawn care. If what you're doing is lawn care and the weeds are starting to come up, maybe you want to email market to them and tell them that, hey, don't forget, we not only do we cut grass, but we also go in there and we could spray your lawn and get rid of the weeds. Fall comes around, leaves are coming down. You can do the same thing. You can market to them that you could take care of their leaves for them. If you do snow removal, you can market to them that you also do that, just as a reminder. So that's how email marketing works for us. All right, text messages, kind of the same thing. It does work for us. I'll use the mosquito police example again. If I know all of a sudden ant season is upon us, we can hit them with an email that says that's what's going on. We could hit them with a door hanger that says that's what's going on. Hey, just so you know, we take care of ants and this is the ant season, and you'll know that as soon as you start to see these little piles of sand show up on everybody's lawn, that's the time to market to those people. You wouldn't market to them in the beginning of the year when the ants aren't out and they're not active and they're not wreaking havoc. You want to market during the prime time when the problem is actually going on. All right, next thing. Let's talk about Business cards have always been a great way to market, but you should always just have them in your truck. It's handy to have. There's nothing wrong with it. People always ask you for a card. Give them a card. It's still there. It's still effective. People still use it, and they'll keep your card. They'll put it up on their refrigerator or up on their bulletin board or whatever, and when the need arises, they'll give you a call. That's how that works. All right, that being said, vehicle wraps are another one that have worked well for us. We actually did a study, and this, again, was with the Mosquito Police van that we had all wrapped up. And I had one of my guys ride along with me one day, and I told him, I said, I want you to pay attention and see how many people actually look at this van. Not just look because we happen to be there and they're looking before they can go left or right or proceed, but how many of them are actually trying to read the van. And I forget what the number was. I think it was like 500 people in a day or something like that, 300, 500, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I do know this. It was effective. And we've had people, one thing that we do, we record all the time, and you guys should do the same thing. If you're doing multiple forms of advertising and marketing, you need to record where you're getting the biggest bang for your buck so you know where to spend your money next year. For example, if you did radio ads and they didn't work as well as door hangers, then you know, if I had that many radio ads and that many door hanger responses, the responses were minute in this and high in this. Obviously, you want to put more money into that area next year, okay? You don't want to throw your money away on things that are not working for you, obviously. All right? All right. Vehicle wraps, again, just to wrap that up, we have people tell us all the time, oh, we see your vans all the time. And that's just another way of getting in front of them, too. So maybe they did hear the radio ads. Maybe they saw our website. Maybe they saw flyers. Maybe they saw our 4-foot by 6-foot signs, the billboards, the yard signs maybe. But then all of a sudden the vans come by too. So it's another contact. You made another contact with them people. All right, which again makes them more apt to buy from you. All right, the more you're in front of them, the more they're apt to buy from you. Blech. All right. All right, a simple thing is uniforms. Just that simple. I'm telling you, forever and a day, when you're out and you're spraying in the lawn and there happens to be people around there and they may not see your vehicle because your vehicle's out front and they're out in the back, but they do read your shirt and they do read who you are from, and you look professional anyway, so you should do it. And it does work. It's not going to go out and get you 100 clients, obviously, but you look professional, and it does work. It does help, right? All right. Pay-per-click advertising. I know my competitors do this all day long. I've done some of it. It gets to be pricey. It can be a very good thing. For example, when it's time, I'll use the Mosquito Police thing again. When it is time to go after the mosquitoes, okay, and your phone should start ringing for this, when a person goes on the internet to try and find a mosquito control company, as soon as I type that in, if your pay-per-click ad pops up in front of them, they may very well click on your ad. And we use it some. We haven't used it a great deal just because of the expense of it. If you can do it cheaply, yeah, it's a form to work, and it does work. But you just have to watch it because, again, your price, it's like on a bidding system. So it could cost you, maybe in the spring when everybody's calling for mosquito stuff, it might cost you $15 per click, And so you have to watch that. It can get pricey. There's better ways to do it, I guess. All right, Facebook. Again, I'm just going to touch on this about why it's important. Let's say I go to a neighborhood and I put out my door hangers, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But if I put them out and then I amplify that by just hammering out with the Facebook ads that are in front of them, again, you're in front of them multiple times because they could get hit 3 or 4 times a day with that ad. And so you become a household name automatically, or after a while, not automatically, but after a while. And then when that happens to you, you're actually gaining a lot of traction, whether you know it or not, whether they're calling or not, because you're still in front of their face. They could be at a dinner party, and they could be like, who were those guys? God, I wish we could get rid of these mosquitoes. And they're like, who were those guys? And you can say, well, I know who they were. They're the Mosquito Police guys. Why? Because we hammered them with advertisings in all different areas and all different ways, right? So that works well also. Every door direct mailers. I want to tell you this. every door direct mailers do work. They'll get to the person's house, but I have kind of swayed from that a little bit. When they first came out, it was fantastic because everyone wasn't doing it. Now everybody's doing it, and because they're doing it, they're just beating the tar out of the pricing on this thing. When it costs you 45 cents or 50 cents a piece, by the time you're done with all your marketing material and every door direct mailers, when you pay the post office, by the time that's done, it's like 50 cents a pop to get in front of people, which you may not think is bad. I think it's bad because I get in front of them for a lot less. But the other thing is, I'm one of many. So like when you open up your newspaper and you've got 5 or 6 junk mail ads in there every single day, if you're anything like me, you just grab those automatically, make sure there's no letters in there, and in the garbage it goes in about 3 seconds. That's how much time they got. Each one of them got about 1.5 seconds from me. That's what they got. Versus if I put it on their door, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. All right. So, not a huge fan of every door direct mailers, but they can work. And I'll tell you where they do work better. If you get into neighborhoods where there's no solicitation, okay, so you can't go around, you can't put door hangers up, or you might get into, like down in Florida or other places where they have these gated communities where you're not allowed to go in there and distribute your materials, that's a good spot to use the every door direct mailers, okay, because then you can still get to those people, all right? And there again, Facebook would work well because you can geo-target those specific areas. All right. And I would use Facebook advertising way more so than I would do anything else in that area. Every door direct mailers had their time in the limelight, and I just think that time is passing because there's too many people doing it and people are annoyed by it. It's almost like getting the calls, which is another thing that I just can't stand. I don't even promote, is that telemarketing, which is just a frickin' nightmare. Everybody hates it. It's just become an absolute nuisance. It's like a pest, you know. But anyway, that being said, we'll talk about billboards. So billboards are expensive. And what we decided to do, instead of the billboards, you know, where you have to pay them anywhere from, around me anyway, it's anywhere from $250 to $500 a month to have them there. And most of them want a year contract, okay? Well, if I spray mosquitoes for six months out of the year, I can't do that, right? Or 5 months out of the year, I don't want to sign a year contract and pay that money. For me, it's not worth it. For me, I would rather, we have like these 4 foot by 8 foot signs that we have made, and I just put them up all over the place. So that works well for me. It's like a miniature billboard, but I do it for a fraction of the cost of what those things are, okay? All right, so therefore, yard signs, like these little 2 foot by 2 foot yard signs. All the customers that we get, whether it's landscaping, lawn care, or pest control, we try to put those things in at the end of their driveway so that the people going by see this all the time. And you would be shocked at how many people actually say, oh yeah, we see your signs everywhere. Okay? They pay attention to that. People pay attention to that. They really, truly do. And here again, they see our signs everywhere. Well, every time they pass one of those signs, what is it? It's another hit. It's another hit. You've been in front of them, in front of them, in front of them, in front of them, and pretty soon they buy from you. That's just the way it goes. That's the nature of the beast. That being said, websites, absolutely huge. They became huge a while back, and they still have their part today. People want to find out about you. They're going to go on your website, and they're going to read up on you. Okay, most people will do that. They will check you out to see if you're a legitimate company. And with the scammers that are out there today, you know, they really want to find out as much about you as they can. Now, if they've been referred by a neighbor or something like that, it's not as critical. But when they don't know you from Adam, having that website really truly helps. And it gives you a chance to showcase your work, right? So let's say, for example, you do lawn care. Put some beautiful lawn pictures in there, work that you've done, or you know, get them from Print Shop or wherever you can get them, and legally put them on your site. Just do that, okay? They'll see beautiful lawns and they'll be like, oh, hey, these guys must do really good work because look how nice that looks. If you're a landscaper, on our website, there's tons of paver patios, retaining walls, new lawn installations, beautiful flower beds, you know, concrete benches and stuff that we made. I mean, there's a million things that we do and we showcase our work on there so people can go at that website and look at it and see all the things that you've done. And they can look at that and see, this is not just Joe Blow. These guys do good work. Look at their work. Let's give them a call. So it truly, truly helps you move them to the point where they call you on the phone. Especially for landscape projects. I'm telling you guys, got to have this website because it just makes people call you. And again, the chance to showcase your work. Now, that being said, there's a lot of crooks and a lot of criminals out there that work on these websites. If any of you guys have had experience with this, you're not alone, because a lot of people struggle with this. Now, I was fortunate enough to find a good guy, and a lot of people don't like to share who they found. A lot of people just don't want to do it, okay, because they're like, hey, I don't want him to fill up with work, because if he fills up with work, he ain't going to have time to work on my stuff. Well, I found some good guys that I've worked with for years now. If you look at my site, you'll see, go to familylawnandlandscape.com or go to the Mosquito Police, and you look at those websites, and you'll see the work that these guys have done. And it's beautiful work. And anyway, you can give them a call. Just leave me a comment down below, and I'll get back to you. I'll hook you up with them. They're extremely reasonable on their websites, and I'm the only reason I'm bringing this up to you guys is because I want you to succeed. I happen to have a personal connection that I know works and know won't screw you over. So if you want to call me on it, I'd be happy to help you out. Just leave me a message down below. And just the best thing you can do is email me at info@familylawnandlandscape.com. And then I can have our office girl just send over their information. So that being said, now to my number one thing. This still holds true today. And we do tons of this marketing that I've just spoken to you about, but one of the number one things that we do, and I continue to do, is the door hangers, because they're so direct. And I think door hangers having had their place, and I know when I got down in Florida, they became so common that everyone was using them, and it almost became like junk mail. But if you're in areas where it's not that common, they'll work like $1,000,000 for you. And I think, and I've watched this, so I know, I've seen people, like if I'm out putting them out, I've watched people come up, they see it hanging in their door, and I watch them sit right there and read it, and then just take it in the house with them. I can remember sitting down in Florida, I watched them, because they get so many of them, I watched a guy take it, walk right over the garbage can, and throw it in there. But here again, they're left on his door all the time. Now, more than ever, or more than the first time they ever came out, first time they came out with the door hangers, they were fantastic. They worked like $1,000,000. Everyone started using them, kind of like every door direct mail. Now they're not as potent, right? Their popularity is going to come back. And here's why. Everyone's going digital. Okay? The more people that go digital, the less marketing material that's left on their door. Okay? So people are going to pay more attention to that. So we have generated just thousands of clients from doing that, from using the door hangers, and they work well. It takes a little bit to get them out. You can get them done inexpensively. We use a company I'd be happy to hook you guys up with. I think, well, you got to watch them, but when they're on sale, you can get them for like 75% off. You can get like 5,000 of them for $200 or something like that. But anyway, they're a really good company, super duper quality. We've worked with that company for years too, so if you'd like their information, just leave me a note down below in the comment section. I'll get back to you on that. Hopefully these tips have helped you guys out. If they have, and we'd appreciate you guys just hitting the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification bell so you're notified for the next video. Thanks for watching, and go get them.